Just true. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Freddie Haynes.
Thank you so much. It's good to see all of you on this beautiful day. Even though it is cloudy, I feel the sunshine of our spirits that are determined to overcome. And so thank you so much for your presence. It's good to see each and every one of you. I am going to frame this moment with two quotations by the drum major for justice and peace, Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King, on one occasion, challenged faith leaders with the question, are you going to be a thermometer or a thermostat? It's a powerful question because thermometers do have a role and responsibility. Thermometers let us know exactly what the temperature is, what's going on in the climate. And I will simply testify that right now, the thermometer in this nation registers the sad reality that this is a climate that is infected with the toxins of injustice, inequity, xenophobia, hatred. It is a sick climate that we find ourselves in right now. The thermometer lets us know that things are bad. The thermometer lets us know that ICE, sadly, is a terroristic agency that has the backing of the federal government. The thermometer lets us know that immorality is sadly running this country. That's what the thermometer says. But Dr. King, during the height of the civil rights movement, where fascism was a part of the very fabric of the government of this country, raised the question to faith leaders, are you going to be a thermometer or are you going to be a thermostat? I like that because Dr. King was saying our responsibility is to be a thermostat. Now, what is the difference, you ask, between a thermometer and a thermostat? It's this simple. A thermostat is connected to a power that gives it transformational ability. I'm going to do that one more time. A thermostat is connected to a power that gives it the ability to transform its environment. We are gathered here today to say that we are thermostats because we are connected, number one, to people power. I like that, people power. Please recognize that democracy, when you break it down etymologically, it comes from a Greek word, demos, which has to do with what? People, and kratos, which has to do with power. So democracy is powered by people. That means that the power of the people is always greater than that of the people who are in power. I love that right there. And so when you stay connected to people, when you are concerned about the needs of the people, then you have a power that is transformational. This country has a sick history. We already know it, where its worst moments have been those moments when the people in power overruled the power of the people. The people in power were more concerned about their privilege, and they were fueled by fear and hatred. And as a consequence, we experienced the most egregious evil expression of enslavement in the history of humanity. As a consequence, we saw concentration camps. As a consequence, we saw rampant, poisonous Islamophobia, especially in the aftermath of 9/11. This country has had its darkest moments when it's been fueled by fear and hatred and othering. That's when this country has been dark. But here we are today as thermostats to say, you know what, that has been, but that doesn't mean it has to be. Because Martin Luther King Jr. said you're going to be a thermostat that controls the environment or a thermometer that's controlled by the environment. I've come to say we're gathered today in a spirit of love. Don't you love it? To say we're going to bring justice to all in this country. You do recognize that that's a definition of justice. Justice, Michael Dyson says, is what love sounds like when it speaks in public. Justice, Freddie Haynes says, is when the moral law wire systems with love. And whenever it's wired with love, then we become the thermostats that reset the environment. And that's what we're called to do. And so I close with the final framing quote of Dr. King, who said, I love it. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. I got to remix Dr. King and say you're right about that. But if it's going to bend, it's because we're going to push. And so, y'all, that's what we've got to do. We've got to push that arc so it can bend toward justice. So let's push the arc and abolish ICE, because ICE is immoral. Let's push the arc and ensure that there is equitable funding in public education instead of a defunding of public education, because defunding public education is immoral. Let's push that arc until all of us enjoy universal health care, starting with Medicare for all. Because Dr. King also said of the most egregious evils of injustice is to make sure that everybody doesn't have access to health care. Y'all, we are here as moral leaders. We are here as thermostats. We are here to push the moral arc of the universe. So, y'all, let's keep on pushing. Push it until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Push it until all of God's children experience liberty and justice for all, economically, educationally, medically. May we all experience the bounty and beauty and possibility of what should become the United States of America. And when it becomes the United States of America, that's when we'll be all able to shout and testify that God is our Father, and all of us are living around the family table as members of the family of humanity. And in the family of humanity, all of us are important. All of us are valued. All of us are lifted, and it shows up in public policy. And so, y'all, I'm done, but that's the word. The arc of the moral universe is long, so y'all keep on pushing. And if you keep on pushing, you're going to understand what my man Kendrick Lamar meant when he said, all my life I had to fight, but if God's got us, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right if we keep on pushing as thermostats.
Everybody, please give another warm applause to Reverend Dr. Freddie Haynes. Democracy is not defended by speeches alone, but it is defended by organized people power. We are living in a dangerous political moment where Donald Trump's regime politics are rooted in division, fear, and authoritarianism. The answer is not despair. The answer is organized resistance. Indivisible Dallas is building that resistance every single day, mobilizing neighbors, engaging voters, and ensuring that everyday people understand their power. If you're wondering how to get involved, how to fight back, how to defend democracy locally, then this is where you can start. I want to please everyone give a warm welcome to Samantha Mitchell from Indivisible Dallas.
Okay, I think it was grossly unfair to put me after the Reverend Dr. Haynes. Grossly unfair, but that's okay. The moral arc of the universe bends towards justice, I guess. I am Samantha Mitchell. I am one of the co-leads of Indivisible Dallas. We were formed in early 2017 through the model of the National Indivisible Movement. And I'm sure a lot of y'all are aware of what Indivisible is. Basically, what Indivisible Dallas is connecting everyday Dallasites to what you can do to stay civically engaged and to stop the spread of fascism. We have so many folks in Indivisible Dallas that range the gamut. We have, as Adriana just said this morning, we have everyone from recovering Republicans to people who are like, let's just burn this shit down. So we have to find somewhere productive for everyone on that spectrum to meet. And there is something that everybody can do to fight fascism. It does not matter what your ability level is. It does not matter what your bank account is. It does not matter how many people you know. It doesn't matter where you're from, your documentation status. Everyone can do something to fight fascism. Everyone can do something to spread democracy, true democracy here in Dallas. And as it's Valentine's Day, I was thinking on the way up here, I greatly love Texas. I'm a seventh generation Texan. It is not with any braggadociousness that I ever say that, because usually when you look like me and you're a seventh generation Texan, there is a trail of bodies behind me. And unfortunately, that's something that I am deeply aware of. And at the same time, though, I meet a lot of people that look like me, and a lot of people who this is the first year, this is the first time that they've ever been involved in politics. And man, you're late, but you're so welcome. You're so welcome to the party. So what we do at Indivisible Dallas is trying to give everybody a toolkit for what they can do. Even if you are completely bedridden, there is something that you can do to save democracy. So if you are interested in Indivisible Dallas, please visit our website. It's indivisibledallas.org. We hold weekly meetings, Zoom meetings, but we also are organizers of demonstrations. We organize the big No Kings Dallas events. So we will be back here March 28th, if everybody will mark your calendars, for No Kings 3. And we're hoping to break our record and have over 10,000 people here at City Hall. So that is my spiel, and I hope that you all will take today and inspire, let the inspiration into your heart and spread it to everyone around you. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you, Taz. Thank you, Zeeshan. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Haynes. Thank you, Representative Ramos.
So we will see you all at No Kings 3 coming up very soon, very, very soon. And that's what people power looks like, right? We'll see folks here at City Hall. We'll see folks organizing all across the state. And we are the fastest growing force, right? Everyone who is trying to resist against this fascist type of dictator that we have, trying to turn the United States into a dictatorship. I'm going to call on our friend Judith to be able to come up and lead us in some of those chants and calls to action that we're going to be having at things like No Kings. You've also seen, a lot of you here have been here at City Hall showing up for the rallies against ICE, for the rallies in support of Venezuela, for the rallies in support of helping out our neighbors. And so with that, I'm going to invite her up here to lead us in a little bit of chants, and we'll keep going with the rest of the program. Judith, come on up.
Hey y'all, how are we doing today? Yeah, let's get our energy up. I know it's a cloudy day, but we're out here because we believe in democracy, we believe in people's rights, and we believe in a system that's going to put people's needs above profit, above corporate greed. Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
We will not put up with ICE.
Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
We will not put up with ICE.
Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
We will not put up with ICE.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Sorry, excuse me. We say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
We will not put up with ICE.
Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
We will not put up with ICE.
The people united will never be defeated.
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 Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
Move ICE, get out the way.
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 Get out the way, ICE, get out the way.
Get out the way, ICE, get out the way.
Move ICE, get out the way.
Move ICE, get out the way.
Get out the way, ICE, get out the way.
Get out the way, ICE, get out the way.
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
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 Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Brothers, sisters, have no fear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
No hate, no fear. 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 Immigrants are welcome here.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Donald Trump, let's be clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
No one is illegal.
No one is illegal.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
No one is illegal.
No one is illegal.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
No one is illegal.
No one is illegal.
No ban, no wall, sanctuary for all.
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 Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
From the river to the sea,
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river,
From the sea to the river,
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river,
From the sea to the river,
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
From the sea to the river,
From the sea to the river,
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with occupation.
Down with occupation.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with occupation.
Down with occupation.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
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 El pueblo unido
All right, let's end it with this one. Abolish ICE.
Abolish ICE!
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 Thank you all.
Everyone give them a huge applause. Thank you so much, Judith. We're going to abolish and prosecute ICE, yeah? This is what people power looks like, and one of the fastest growing forces in politics today are young people, right? You see a lot of young people. Give it up for the young people. Ignore them and you will lose your election. Center them and you will build the future. The next generation is not waiting its turn. It's building power right now. So with that, I am going to introduce my friend Chris Leal, the co-president of the Dallas County Young Democrats. He's helping build real community for young professionals across the Dallas metro, ensuring that youth leadership is not symbolic, it's strategic. Coalitions that fail to invest in young leaders will fall behind, period. Please welcome Chris Leal.
Thank you all. Good morning, Dallas. My name is Chris Leal, president of Dallas County Young Dems. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I am proud to be here today to support our two DCYD endorsed candidates, Reverend Haynes and Zeeshan Hafeez. You know, many people don't know this, but Dallas is one of the youngest and most diverse places in the nation. We are the 5th youngest metro area in the country and the 6th most diverse. Half of our population is under the age of 35. How? Make some noise if you're under 35 today. But that means that Dallas and all of us here right now are primed to help lead our nation out of these dark times. But it starts with making sure we send our brightest stars to Congress. We are here today to support two great candidates who are ready to fight for the progressive values and policies that we need to put fascism back in its grave. Two candidates willing to meet the moment that we find ourselves in today. Two candidates that are not going to sell us out to Republicans or the insurance companies or corporate monopolies or APAC. Two candidates with spines, with integrity, with morality, who don't have to check which way the wind is blowing before they speak. Because they lead with love, which means they instinctively work for the people. It is long past time for Texas Democrats to live up to our progressive legacy. Yes. And this is another thing most people don't know either. Texas and Dallas have a rich and incredible progressive populist legacy to be proud of. It was progressive Texas Democrats who literally helped show the nation and the federal government how to regulate Wall Street. It was progressive Texas Democrats who showed the nation how to break up monopolies and regulate business. Progressive Texas Democrats that signed civil rights into law, that created Medicare and Medicaid, that launched a war on poverty, and created Head Start and SNAP programs, protected our environment. This is the legacy of progressive Texas Democrats. And if we're going to get Medicare for all passed, if we're going to fix income inequality, if we're going to empower labor and break up these damn monopolies, if we are going to abolish and prosecute ICE and get Gestapo out of our streets, if we are going to meet this moment and create a country that actually works for the people, then it's time to send two more progressive Texas Democrats to DC. And that's Reverend Freddie Haynes and Zeeshan Hafeez. Thank you.
Chris is right. Actually, in the Texas 33rd, the median age is 32. This is one of the most young districts that we have in the United States. Youth energy strengthens movements, but movements also must stay grounded in justice and peace. Deb Arbentor is a professor, a former Denton City Council member, and activist for peace. She's a leader with Jewish Voices for Peace and a consistent advocate for human rights and dignity. In a time where global violence and rising polarization is costing lives, mobilizing for peace is not optional, it's essential. Please welcome Deb Arbentor.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for spending your Valentine's Day morning out here, out in the rain. My name is Deb Armentar. My pronouns are they, she, and I'm here in support of Frederick Haynes and Zeeshan Hafeez, who we need to send to Congress. This nation needs their conviction, their bravery, their incorruptibility, and their unwavering commitment to social justice to bend that arc towards justice from here to Palestine. Right. Just a few words about me and where I'm coming from. I'm the granddaughter of Jewish refugees who escaped ethnic cleansing in Eastern Europe before the Holocaust. I'm a red diaper grandbaby, a professor, an abolitionist, and hiding undercover cops over there, and a two-term Denton City Council member. I'm the co-chair and founder of Decriminalize Denton, faculty advisor to UNT, YDSA, and Students for Justice in Palestine, and a founding member of UNT's Faculty and Staff for Justice in Palestine. And I'm also, as you just heard, founding member and member leader of the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter of Jewish Voice for Peace. And I just want to say a little bit about what we do and what we stand for. Jewish Voice for Peace, which I'm going to call JVP from now on because it's shorter. JVP is the largest anti-Zionist Jewish organization in the world. Our mission is to answer the call of our Palestinian partners to fight for full Palestinian liberation while building a mass movement of Jews that can interrupt the support of Zionist institutions and the US government in sustaining settler colonialism, apartheid, and genocide in Palestine. Back in grad school in Houston, I saw Cornel West give a talk where he said a quote that we heard earlier today from the Reverend, "Justice is what love looks like in public." And it is in that spirit of justice as public love that we fight, and I mean all of us here today, fight not to reform, but to dismantle the institutions and structures that sustain injustice in order to grow something new, joyful, beautiful, and life-sustaining in their place with love. That better world we all know is possible. Now, in Palestine and in Gaza, that better world, however, is not ours to build. That's the colonialist mindset that tells us that that's our world to build.
Right.
That world belongs to Palestinians.
Right.
And our role as Americans and world citizens is to follow their lead, amplify their voices, and uplift them in their struggle.
Right.
Our duty is to put our privileges and our bodies on the line for a free Palestine. And I'm proud to say I was temporarily incarcerated in the Dallas County Jail for that cause, and I do it all over again a million times. And Zeeshan and Frederick are going to Congress. And while that's not the same as being in Dallas County Jail, it is not exactly the most friendly place for people who stand for what we stand for. So they're going to an unfriendly place to change it, to dismantle it, not to assimilate into that culture. We here today are under no illusions that Congress and electoral politics will liberate us. Only we the people will liberate us. We have no illusions in the corrupt two-party system either. We need elected officials like Frederick and Zeeshan who understand this intuitively and will never assimilate into the democratic moderate mainstream, but will instead hold Democrats accountable, hold everyone accountable to represent our social justice values with their every vote, with their every word, and with every fiber of their being. If we can get out the vote and send them to the Capitol to fight for us, they will do so bravely and unstoppably because they are grounded in the real love, the true love that we are fighting for and from, and that we hear in their words today. They will never be complacent in the face of genocide, apartheid, and settler colonialism. They will never pretend that what's happening in Gaza now is a ceasefire.
Come on.
It is the opposite of a ceasefire. It's a genocide. They will never stand inside the Democratic National Convention and hobnob with power while Palestinians are shut out on the outside, not allowed to speak. They will not stand for that. And that's why we're here in the rain in support of them. No matter what forms of fascism and oppression are going on here at home, they will also never stop talking about Gaza. They will never stop fighting for Gaza because they understand that our democracy and our freedom here in Texas, in the United States, are connected to and inseparable from the freedom of Palestinians and the freedom of everybody all over the world because they understand that our struggles are all interconnected. So I want to thank them for running, for representing us. I never, and I've said this before, I never come out for partisan electoral politics. That is not my thing at all. But I come out for these two candidates, and because they stand for what we stand for. So free Palestine. Say it again, free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
And now I'm going to say, justice is, and then you're going to say what love looks like in public, okay? Justice is.
What love looks like in public.
Justice is.
What love looks like in public.
Thank you. Happy Love Day, which is every day.
Thank you. Let's get a bigger round of applause for Deb, everyone. Justice is what love looks like in public. Justice also means economic justice. Democracy cannot survive when working families are struggling to survive. Because of that, labor and working people must be central to this fight. I want you to raise your hand if you're in a union. Yeah, we love our unions, right? And with that, I'm going to introduce some of my favorite union members. First off, we got Stu Becker, a teacher, a proud unionist, and the newly elected president of the Young Active Labor Leaders. That's my president. He understands that if we don't center workers, retirees, everyday families in this fight, democracy becomes hollow.
Right.
Please welcome Stu Becker.
Hey, I'm Stu Becker. I'm the newly elected chair of the state Texas Young Active Labor Leaders. I'm also a teacher, a public school teacher, and I'm a member of Alliance AFT Local 2260, the teachers union in Dallas ISD. But yeah, the Young Active Labor Leaders is an organization of union activists and supporters to organize and build the labor movement here in Dallas and all over Texas. And the labor movement is so important. Because we need to put the working class, the multiracial working class in power and get these big billionaires, these big bosses out of power.
Right.
And we need to put the people and the planet before profits.
Right.
And we need to link the labor movement with the civil rights movement,
Right.
Black liberation movement, the anti-war movement, and the environmental justice movement. So yeah, so I'm freaking pumped. Yeah. Freddie Haynes and Zeeshan Hafeez, these candidates are amazing because that's what they fight for. Um, yeah, we need health care for all. We need child care for all. I got a baby, and child care costs $1,000 a month. That's another rent payment. And healthcare for my wife and baby right now costs $730 a month. And for me, it takes $300 out of my paycheck a month. That's crazy. Yeah, the rent and the bills are too damn high, and the wages aren't rising at all. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So we gotta organize the working class, the multiracial working class, the civil rights movement, yeah, the labor movement. We need to organize. Yeah. What else? We need a Green New Deal. We need housing for all. Yeah, we need an end to the genocide in Palestine. We need to get the big money out of politics. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. I just want to say, yeah, y'all is so important because you can join y'all, the Young Active Labor Leaders, and you don't have to be in a union. Because everybody here is a worker. I'm pretty sure everybody here is working class. Most people are working class. If you work for a paycheck, you're working class. So you can get in y'all and then be a part of the labor movement so we can fight to put the working class in power. So yeah, all power to the multiracial working class and all power to the people. Thank you.
Give it up for our President Stu, everyone. All power to the people. Let me hear you say that. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Love that. Also, by the way, let's give a huge round of applause for our teachers, everyone. We would not be here without our educators. And the next person I want to introduce is my friend Rosie Curtis, who, by the way, when I first moved to Dallas, she made me feel so welcome, getting me plugged in with organizations with y'all, getting me plugged in with organizations with the Democratic Socialists of America, getting us plugged in. Without folks like her, we would not know where we would be in terms of organizing. Rosie is a dedicated educator, a proud union member, and again, an advocate for strong public education. Yeah. An active classroom teacher and an active participant in her teachers' union, she works to ensure that educators have the resources, the support, and the respect that they need. Rosie, come on up. It's time that we have well-funded schools and better funding for our educators. Introducing Rosie Curtis, y'all.
Thank you. I don't know when he wrote that intro because I just found out I was speaking like this morning. So, so I am with my brother Stu, a member of Alliance AFT Local 2260. I teach at Adamson High School in Oak Cliff. I teach at a student population that is overwhelmingly minority, lots of immigrants, lots of children of immigrants, and I worry about them and I care about them every day. I am also a member of the Texas AFL-CIO Executive Board representing AFT, Texas AFT. And as Stu said, the working class is composed of everyone who works, right? Our jobs dramatically impact our lives. And yet this is an area where so many people feel like they have to check their power at the door when they clock in. We have seen over the years stagnant wages, stagnant minimum wage. We've seen poor working conditions. We've seen union busting that goes unaccounted for. We've seen companies refuse to come to the negotiating table even after their workers won their union. And all of this is all the politicians in power, all the regular establishment politicians at best have just let it happen, at worst have encouraged it because that's what their corporate donors want. Elected officials have not been paying attention to labor and unions enough anymore. But there are beginning to be some that do pay attention to us. Zoa Mamdani paid attention to working people. Taylor Ramette, right here in DFW, paid attention to working people. Those two guys are very different. They ran for different kinds of offices. They ran in very different kinds of places, but they have a few things in common. Number one, no one expected them to win their races when they started out.
Yeah, right.
Number two, they were vastly outspent by their opponents. But number three, they both focused on working people and working people's issues. And y'all know what number four thing they have in common is? They won! They won! Despite those obstacles, they focused on working people and they won. People try to count out candidates that don't have the money or don't have the name recognition, but those are the ones that are winning now. In 2018, 2 years into a Trump administration, we saw a wave of progressive underdogs ousting establishment Democrats in their primaries. That was how the squad got into office. Now we're, again, 2 years into a Trump term. Things are worse than ever. People are panicked. People are scared. People are angry. And working people are still living with companies that won't negotiate, companies that union bust, companies that don't pay enough, companies that provide terrible working conditions. And now they are ready to stand up yet again and say, we can't do the status quo anymore. We need voices in Congress that will be loud for labor.
Yeah, right.
Labor and workers' rights are fighting for attention. Regular Democrats, they pay lip service to us, but they do not prioritize us. They do not champion us because corporate donors don't let them. Because it's complicated. Because it means they might have to talk to people outside of their safe base and deal with hard questions and difficult issues. But I'm here today because I know that Reverend Dr. Freddie Haynes and Zeeshan Hafeez, they know how to be loud, and they know that being loud right now is necessary.
Right.
So I hope that we will all, in our communities, in our circles, will get loud for them. I believe that we will win. Can y'all say, I believe that we will win?
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
All right, then let's do it.
Give it up for Rosie Curtis, everyone. Grassroots energy and labor power must meet with legislative action. That bridge is essential. In Texas, we're fighting those same conservative forces that say we're a right-to-work state, or that we are a state dominated by big energy and corporate overlords. But we have our own champion in the state house who is ensuring that we're pushing back and holding the line. State Representative Ana-María Rodríguez Ramos of District 102 serves as that champion. She chairs the Texas Legislative Progressive Caucus. She ensures that progressive values are not just rally slogans, but actual priorities for our people. She fights for education. She fights to expand Medicaid access to Texans. She fights for reproductive health care rights for women and non-men. She fights for clean energy, for affordability for working families, and she is the powerhouse leader in the state house representing immigrant communities across Texas. Please welcome State Representative Ana-María Rodríguez Ramos.
Thank you, everyone. Buenos dias. I am Ana-María Rodríguez Ramos. I am the chair of the Texas Legislative Progressive Caucus. I was mentioning to some people earlier, when we call other states and introduce ourselves, they're like, we didn't know Texas had progressives. We're here and we're fighting. I want to thank all of the educators for being here today, and for Judith. Were brought up over and over again, that sometimes as the underdog, we're being told to be silent. You don't have the money. You don't have the name recognition. but we have the people, we have you, and I want to thank you for recognizing your power and that our power does lie in the working class. Let me tell you, I want to thank Indivisible for being here. I ran, yes, woo! When I ran in 2017, I ran after the Trump administration won their first election, and neighbors just like you would meet up in my living room every week. We pulled up that Indivisible toolkit, and every week it was a manual on how to fight back. We had people who were retired teachers, stay-at-home moms, people who never had been active before, but we had a manual telling us how to do it. We didn't know how to do it, but what we did know, but is what was happening at that time, just like now, was wrong. And in meeting in my living room every week, deciding, you know what, I think I'm going to run for office because my representative doesn't represent me.
Right.
And so I was told, Ana-María, you're going to run against somebody who's never lost an election before, which was true. You're going to run against somebody who the establishment is behind, a Republican woman who voted against women's rights, who voted for campus carry, who voted against immigrants. They said, she's got the money, and she did. And in fact, my first filing, she had like something like $800,000. I had 1,000. Wow. And I was so happy because I'm like, we're in this game until I realized we're a little bit out, funded. But at the end of the day, I knew the power lied in the people. Yeah. I knew that if, you know what, you can out money a Mexican, but no one can outwork a Mexican. Yeah. So all I needed to do was work harder. That's what we do. And we got the working class folk, we got all the family. And I was told over and over again, you cannot win in this race. In fact, I'll share something with you because I do spill the tea. There was an individual who currently works in one of Zeeshan's opponents' campaign who told me, you're a Latina, you will never win in that race. In fact, you should probably run for something. Yes, true story. And you know what that did to me? That lit the fire under me, because how many times have we been told you're not enough?
Right.
How many times have we been told you need to sit down and be quiet?
Yeah.
How many times have we been told you can't do this? Well, I was told that over and over again. But you know what? People like you said, let's do this, let's fight. And when I knew that I was going to flip this seat in 102 that had long been held Republican against a powerful opponent, when I knew I was going to win is when I went to a restaurant and the waiter knew who I was and said, I'm going to vote for you. When I went to the gas station and the clerk said, hey, I know who you are, I voted for you. When I was up and down the street in working communities and folk told me, I know you, I'm going to work for you. Not the rich and powerful, because they didn't endorse me, they didn't support me, and they said, you can't win, let's not waste money on her. That's what the Democratic establishment said. But when they knew that people were talking, we were the thermostat. We changed the conversation. We became part of this bigger picture. And ever since I won, and it was the first time that I had went to the Texas Capitol when I got sworn in, was after, so the first time I went was the women's rally. The second time I went to the Texas Capitol was when I got sworn in as a Democrat in a district they said could never win. So I want to thank you for realizing your power, because I knew it wasn't just me. It was going to have to be all of us.
Right.
Person by person, house by house, block by block, we were going to flip that district. And that's what we're going to do to win this election for Zeeshan and Dr. Frederick Haynes. We're going to do this, but we have to do it with each other. We know our power lies in our collective, in our love for each other and our neighbor. And that's what's going to get us to the finish line. And that's what's going to get Zeeshan to Congress and Dr. Frederick Haynes to Congress. And we're going to have bold, powerful progressives who are not afraid to speak up and to fight back for the working class. Too many times, Democrats in Texas and from Texas act like the minority party. It's about time we start acting like the opposition party and start fighting back and speaking up. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. Let's do this together. And I am a true believer
In these events and the things that we do, the people who are supposed to be there are there. You are supposed to be here today. It's not a coincidence that you are. But it also means that there is a responsibility in everything that we do, and that we need to share that connection, lift the collective, so that we can make the true change that needs to happen today and get rid of this fascist regime.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can we get another huge round of applause for Representative Ramos? It's so nice to actually have bona fide progressives representing us in the state legislature. And we need to have more people like her getting elected. But it's also important to have everyday people put their names on the ballot.
That's right, Terrence.
It's very important to have everyday working class people run for office, because without those people, we'll never push the needle. We actually had one more person who is added onto our program. I want to give a huge welcome to my friend Anthony Bridges, who's running for Congress as well in Texas 32. I actually met Anthony at a DSA meeting at my very first welcoming committee meeting, and I was surprised. I was like, great, we have young people who are putting their names on the ballot and actually giving a damn and actually trying. So, Anthony, come on up.
Thank you. Thank you, y'all, for coming out. Thank you, Zeeshan, Frederick. My name is Anthony Bridges. I'm running for Congress in District 32. And yeah, I definitely care. I see what's going on around us, and I just grow ever more frustrated, especially we talk about stuff with Palestine. It exposes a lot of problems with our political system whenever you realize that 98% of our congressional representatives are funded by AIPAC. And so it creates this illusion of opposition that in reality is a pretty bipartisan effort to create genocide. And it's important to remember as an American, the biggest difference between you and a Palestinian is geographic location. Anything that they will do to them is something that they will do to you eventually. As the privilege of the first world slowly begins to fade off into nothing. We see in Minnesota how our first world privilege is really starting to be threatened.
That's right.
And soon enough, it shows the American imperialists, the American capitalists, it is us versus them. They view us all the same. And one day, there's no guarantee that they're going to particularly care about any of us anymore. Once they no longer care about the capital that they can potentially earn off of us. For now, we are valuable to them as consumers, but that is liable to change. And honestly, I hope it changes. I hope that we'll move away from this culture of mindless consumerism and start working towards being mindful and active and caring about fellow Americans, fellow members of humanity across the world, and no longer allowing the capitalists to just do whatever it is that they want. And it starts with us. Community organizing, right? Community strength. That is the key of everything that we need. We need to get to the point, right, where Dallas needs to start being able to take care of itself. We need mutual aid. We need organization, both in labor, both in community, and that is what's going to turn the tide. That's what's going to flip the table on all of this, so that the powers that be no longer will be able to get away with everything from committing genocide to raping children to whatever else that they've managed to do that we haven't quite found out about yet. But it is just a disaster. These people, it is the scum of the earth that runs this country, and we're going to do something about it. That's the plan. So thank you everybody for coming out. My name is Anthony Bridges. Have a nice day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Y'all are here, in this rain, right? And a lot of people oftentimes see storms as something that's a bad thing. In the faith tradition that I come from, rain is considered a blessing. And when we talk about faith, I know that sometimes it's hard to find that in times like these, when it feels like the opposition is more organized than ourselves, but that's changing. The reality is that we have the people, we have the power, and that faith is on our side, that our Creator is on our side. I was actually at Jummah in Richardson yesterday, where I got to see my brother Imam Abdullah preach. And frankly, it reminded me about how much I got into this work as a motivation of my faith. I want to introduce him. Imam Abdullah is widely known as the Imam of the people. He is a community centered in faith and a faith leader committed to justice, compassion, and grassroots empowerment. Grounded in the Islamic tradition and responsive to contemporary challenges, he bridges the pulpit and the public square, uplifting marginalized voices and advocating for dignity. Through sermons, civic engagement, and direct community service, Imam Abdullah works to build stronger neighborhoods rooted in faith, service, and shared humanity. Imam Abdullah, please join us.
Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon you all. My name is Muhammad Abdullah. I serve as the Imam of Masjid al-Islam, just minutes from here, the oldest mosque in all of North Texas. I also serve as a chaplain at Children's Health here in Dallas and in Plano. I want to begin by reaffirming the words already spoken by our dear Dr. Reverend Frederick D. Haynes, and also grounding Brother Zeeshan Hafeez's speech to come by reading some verses from the Quran, if you bear with me 1 second. I'll first read them in Arabic and then I'll try my best to translate them. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O you who have faith, stand firm in front of a higher power, in front of something more powerful than yourself, as witnesses to justice. And do not let the hatred of anybody allow you to act unjust. Rather be just, because that is closer to righteousness. And be conscious of your Creator. Indeed, your Creator is well aware of what you do. Today we're here because love is the only recipe to defeat hate.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going to defeat the lies of our opponents with the truth.
Right.
You can't defeat lies with more lies. You can't defeat hate with more hate. What makes the systems of corruption tremble the most is when the pulpit and public office refuse to be separated. What unsettles corruption the most till its core is when people of conscience, of morals, also stand firm with public power. When moral authority and political power are together for the same cause, that is what unsettles the corruption that we see today. People of moral conviction, we can no longer let prayer and worship be an excuse for our inaction against power. Rather, it's a responsibility.
That's it.
It's a responsibility for people of morals. We have a responsibility to be the moral fabric of our society, which has become more and more morally decrepit.
That's
No love, no justice. What happened to freedom? Come to think about it, freedom ain't so free at all. What happened to Lady Liberty, who was supposed to be blindfolded? Apparently, she's been peeking through that blindfold. And what does she see when she peeks? People who look like us. And those allies who support those who aren't part of the privileged class, you're also on the line as well. Well, we had enough. No more excuses. It's time that we get out of our pulpits and get our butts on these streets and fight the cause that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X fought way before us. So I see my brother, Dr. Frederick Haynes, and I admire him walking in the footsteps of Martin Luther King. But I would like to think that I'm walking in the footsteps of Malcolm X. And what they don't want to tell you is before they died, they were also collaborating to walk together. And that's what the powers and the systems of power fear the most, is that Christians and Muslims and Jews and people who are atheists, anybody who has moral conviction, are going to stand together and walk this path together. And our brother Zeeshan Hafeez is a perfect example of that. Not a pastor, not an imam, just a morally convicted person. A hybrid.
right.
A father, a husband, a fearless leader, somebody who was on these streets fighting for justice way before it was popular to do so, before he decided to run for Congress. So I'm not standing for him here today because he's Muslim. I'm standing for him today because he's a person of moral conviction, who believes in freedom and justice for all. who believes that we should have policies which allow immigrants to come and be a wonderful part of our society, who believes that the minimum wage should be something that we can live off of, who believes that we should have housing which is equal for everybody to attain, who believes until there is justice and liberty for all, there is justice and liberty for none.
Yeah.
So I invite my dear brother Zeeshan Hafeez to continue this fight, knowing that his religious leadership is behind him in this fight as well. And in the footsteps of my brother, Dr. Frederick Haynes, God willing, I'll be running for political office as well in the future.
Yeah. All right.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brother Imam. All right, folks, last but not least, someone who helped organize this very rally, who helped bring together all of these wonderful organizations and communities. I just want to say, I had the opportunity to actually meet my brother Zeeshan last November at a watch party. I know all of us were paying attention to that big mayoral race in New York City. And I got to hear him speak for the first time. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody who's just like me, somebody who is just like the communities that I come from, who actually care. It's so nice and refreshing to have people who are, again, putting their names on the ballot, but actually putting in the work to make sure that we have a real and viable progressive opposition to the establishment. Zeeshan Hafeez is the progressive choice for the Texas 33rd Congressional District. He is the only candidate in his race calling for a living wage. He is the only candidate in this race who started championing Medicare for all. He is the only candidate in this race calling to end the genocide in Gaza. He is the only candidate in this race calling to abolish and prosecute ICE. He is not here to protect the billionaires. He is not here to shield the corrupt corporations. He's here to hold them accountable. We need that kind of Democrat in this district because this district is going to elect a Democrat no matter what. But we need a Democrat that is courageous, clear, and unafraid. This is the kind of leader that we need to get rid of Donald Trump and push back on authoritarian politics. Dallas, please give a powerful welcome to my brother, Zeeshan Hafeez.
Dallas, good morning. Morning, everybody. How you doing? You guys are surviving the rain out here. It is pouring, but we are doing fantastic. First off, I have to recognize all the amazing people, so many friendly faces that I see that are activists and leaders in the Dallas community. You guys show up every single day. And I'm looking around and I see so many of these faces, people that are making a difference, people that are waking up on Saturday mornings super early to drive to downtown to participate in rallies to support democracy because they believe that democracy is in trouble. And they believe that democracy is something that is worth saving. And so all of you, are here today. So I want to recognize the young active labor leaders. Let's give a big round of applause for labor. Labor, the organization that has been fighting for this country from day one and will fight to save this country from what's happening right now with this authoritarian takeover. Let's give a big round of applause for DSA. For Indivisible, that's been fighting for the democracy for so many years. And of course, our young Democrats, our future. Big round of applause for the young Democrats. And of course, my brother from another mother, our next congressman from District 30, the one, the only, the enigma, Reverend Freddie Haynes. And I am so honored, so honored to be standing with a true legend, in progressive politics, not only in Dallas, not only in Texas, but across the South. Someone who chairs the House Progressive Caucus. Someone who's been on the right side of every single issue. Someone who's always fighting for working people. Ana-María Rodríguez Ramos. We're going to have her reelected. I know we're not talking about it today because we know it's going to happen, but we still got to fight.
Right.
We got to keep fighting to keep her in office, and I can't wait to see where that's going to lead you because we need Ana-María. We need Ana-María.
Right. Right.
Why do we need Ana-María? Why do we need Reverend Haynes? Why do we need this Imam Abdullah pretty soon? Why do we need Anthony Bridges in Congress?
Right.
Because we are living in a very dangerous time, my brothers and sisters. We are living in a scary time in our nation's history. We are living in a time when our nation is descending into fascism, into authoritarianism, into things that are so dark and so scary. We are seeing ICE being weaponized by white supremacy. We are seeing ICE, which is going and murdering people on the streets. ICE, which is killing people in its detention centers. ICE, which is having women raped in their detention centers. ICE that is going and brutalizing people in their neighborhoods. ICE that is snatching women from their babies in cars and then beating them up. ICE that is beating up children. ICE that is throwing tear gas into our neighborhoods. ICE that is acting without any accountability, any transparency, with any checks and balances, wearing masks, no badges, no uniforms, no IDs, no body cams, in unmarked cars, terrorizing communities of color. Well, I say no.
No.
I say no.
No.
I say no.
No.
It's time to abolish ICE.
Right.
What time is it?
Abolish.
I said, what time is it? I said, what time is it? We're not going to just stop there. When I launched this campaign, people said it was extreme to say it's time to abolish ICE. Even though we saw Donald Trump was turning this into his personal Gestapo, even though we knew there were a dozen other agencies that deal with immigration enforcement, even though we knew that ICE only came around after 9/11 in a time of terror, in a time of fear, even though we knew all these facts, people said that abolishing ICE was extreme many months ago. But today, abolishing ICE is not enough. We must go and prosecute ICE. We must end qualified immunity for ICE agents and for any law enforcement agent. If you commit a crime in this country, you do the time. And that goes all the way to the top. That means it's time to impeach Kristi Noem, Galvino, Donald Trump, all of them.
Right. Right.
And that means we also need to release the Epstein files. We are living in a time of corruption where people are getting immunity because people in America are not getting the transparency that they deserve.
Yeah.
The transparency that has been voted for.
Yeah.
I say no.
No.
I say no.
No.
I say no.
No.
My brothers and sisters, we are seeing a president who would much rather go and declare war on countries without congressional approval,
Right. Yeah.
without any clear and imminent threat to the United States, and doing it for his own profit
That is.
and the profit of his friends.
Yeah.
He literally went to war in Venezuela, and who did he go to first? Did he go to his cabinet?
No.
No. Did he go to Congress?
No.
Did he go to the American people?
No.
Well, technically, he did go to the American people, but those American people were the executives of the oil industry.
Right.
What is that?
Fascism.
That's right. That's right, Brother Arash. That is oligarchy. That's right, Sister Ana-María. We are seeing such corruption in this country. The man is literally making his own cryptocurrencies to make money for his family. He is giving jobs for his sons, giving them millions and millions of dollars so they can become wealthy over his office.
That's it.
Well, I say no.
No.
I say no.
No.
I say no. No to corruption. No to this oligarchy. No to the billionaire class. No to the Epstein class doing all these horrible things. And then we see what's happening in Palestine. I know we are brothers and sisters united for peace and justice. I know each and every one of you are crying for the poor children, women, babies, and innocent civilians that are starving, that are dying every single day, that are dealing with the most cruelest oppression that we could ever even imagine. The only reason we can even have a sense of it is because it's so much in our faces. The other day I was on CBS, and the man that I was sitting aside from said it wasn't a genocide. When I told him about all the people dying, he said, well, the numbers cannot be qualified. Shane is right. That's the reality of our media. Today they're telling us there's a ceasefire. And what's happened in the ceasefire? Over 1,500 violations of the ceasefire since it was first launched. Right. Over 1,000 people have been murdered in both Gaza and the West Bank since the ceasefire was launched. And yet, people like Congressman Julie Johnson sent another $3.3 billion of our hard-earned tax dollars to commit this genocide in our name. Yet Colin Allred and Julie Johnson take a combined $700,000 from AIPAC and the pro-Israel lobby to continue to parrot their talking points instead of taking care of the American people. Instead, these individuals refuse to talk about Palestine. They refuse to call it what it is, a genocide. They refuse to be on the right side of history, which I know I'm standing on with my good Reverend Haynes, with my good Sister Ana-María, with all of you good people that are here today that know and will say, we were on the right side of history. And we spoke up against AIPAC owning our politicians and against the genocide. But we should not just focus on the fact that we have this authoritarian takeover, that these fascists are trying to take over our government. They're trying to destroy our democracy. We also need hope today. And that's what today is about. It is about overcoming this hatred, about overcoming this system of violence, this system of the military-industrial complex, this system of more and more negativity with love. Because, as my dear sister Patty has on her sign right there, I want everyone to look at it. The one thing more powerful than the hate is love. And so what we can do as true progressives in this country is to fight back against this negative, dark vision that is being thrown upon us, this dark moment in our history, with love, with compassion, with hope for all people. That is the message we need to take to the American people. We need to motivate people because people have lost their belief in the political process. Right. People have lost their belief in their elected officials. People have lost their belief in what America is. But guess what? They're starting to gain it back. They're starting to gain it back because we're getting momentum. What are we talking about? What happened in 2025? Progressives getting elected all across the country. It wasn't just Brother Zoran. There were people all across the country that were winning. And what just happened last week? Taylor Ramett, right next door. He wasn't just a Democrat. He was a true blue progressive Democrat that's going to go join Ana-María in the state legislature. And he's going to be a fighter for the unions. He's going to be a fighter for the working class. And then what happened in Houston, just on the other side of the state? Christian Menifee. He just won. He's one of the most progressive people now in Congress as well. We're not seeing Democrats win. We're seeing true blue progressives win. That should give us hope. What happened in New Jersey? Sister Ana-María, another blue progressive that no one thought was going to win. No one thought she had a chance. The progressive organizations weren't even giving her any money. AIPAC came in, and AIPAC also came in. AIPAC's candidate came in third place. They're spending over $2 million on that race. What does that say? There is hope. The American people are waking up. AIPAC is losing its grip on our government. But it is only possible with each and every one of you. Each and every one of you can mobilize, can assemble, can organize to pass our bold agenda. Because when we go talk about our issues, we're progressives. We don't stand on platitudes. We don't stand around saying, oh, this is my family history and this is why you should vote for me. We don't talk about, hey, I did this and that. We talk about real issues. We talk about how we're going to make this country better. We talk about how we're going to make the working classes' lives better. That means raising the minimum wage. At least $20 to $25 an hour. How about that? How about we do Medicare for all and universal health care? Because health care is a right, not a privilege. How about we talk about free education, quality education, free universities, free public trade schools, free public colleges? And how about this? How about we look at teacher salaries? Rosie, how do you think about that? How about a national fund so that we can fix the problem that's happening in this country? What is that problem? Well, what's the starting signing bonus for an ICE agent? 50 grand. What's their starting salary? Six figures, Reverend Haynes. That's right. How much is the teacher's signing bonus? Nothing. They might get lucky to get $1,000. What's their starting salary? Less than $50,000 for the most part. Where are our priorities? Where are our priorities? We're sending billions and billions of our dollars to build this, hundreds of billions of dollars, to build this mass surveillance police state ICE agents that are terrorizing our community instead of investing in our teachers, our future, the people that are making a difference, but are forced to do so much, work second jobs just to make ends meet. We need to fix our priorities. And that means investing in affordable housing. That means investing in the Green New Deal. Right. Because the Green New Deal will not only make millions of great jobs for this country, but it'll provide us with a sustainable future, not only for our community, but for our nation and for the world. Because if we don't do it, we might not have a world in the future. Yeah. We need to invest in Social Security benefits. Our seniors are being thrown to the side. Our seniors are being left without dignity. Our seniors cannot afford anything despite all their years of work. Because if we're going to raise the minimum wage, we got to raise Social Security. And all you got to do is raise the cap on Social Security tax. Make people pay their fair share. It's not hard. It's not complicated. So on the other hand, we also need to do the things that we just talked about. And the Patriot Act, and mass surveillance, and Citizens United, so we can get corporations out of our government. Corporations that are making our pharmaceutical prices so high. Corporations that are owning our politicians. Corporations that are making Palantir get their victories that are then spying on our people. And then we see our elected officials profiting off of it. The corruption that we're seeing. We need to put an end to all of that. That's only going to happen with serious political reforms. But it is possible. It is possible if each and every one of us stands up. Because I believe that, yes, the American democracy is under attack. But the American democracy is something that's worth saving. It is something that can be saved. It is something that each and every one of us can come together to save. Because at the end of the day, the time for the billionaires, the time for the oligarchs, the time for the Epstein class, their time is over. Now it's time for the people. They're going to go out there and speak up for Brother Alex, for Sister Renee, for Brother Keith, to get people like Brother Yaqub out of his ICE detention center, to get Brother Marwan back in this country, to get Brother Maher released from his ICE detention center. We're going to end the injustices that are happening. We're going to fight for the working people, because the working people are the ones that have made this country what it is. So the time for these oligarchs and these billionaires, these corporatists, establishment Democrats that haven't done anything for us, their time's over. Now it's time for us, all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Everyone, give it up for Zeeshan. Give it up for Reverend Dr. Haynes. Give it up for Representative Ana-María Rodríguez Ramos. And now it's time for the hard ask. I'm not asking you for money, perhaps. It's time, guys. It's time. Like the election, the time to vote is here. Early voting is here. right? So now it's time for us to make sure that we show that we love our neighbors in letting them know that it's time to vote. We know that Texas, they say, is a low turnout state. I don't believe that. We are a low information state. And it's up to all of us to let our neighbors know that it is time to go vote. Every single day, up until the election day, we have shifts. We have reach for relational organizing. In fact, we have a campaign that lets you know that if you're in TX33 or TX30, who you can vote for. We had people go out today for just an hour, and now they've immediately switched to the vote banks. We have people going out every single day between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. to canvass, between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. to call and let their neighbors know, guys, it's time to vote. Yeah. Voting is not just a civic duty, but it's becoming a sacred duty, a devotion of showing that you love your neighbor, that if you desire for your neighbor what you desire for yourself, the conditions of a people will not change unless we change what is within our hearts. So if you see Jeff, raise your hand, Jeff. If you see Adam, raise your hand, Adam. If you want to sign up for a shift, it is time to knock doors and get out the vote.
Yes.
Find me as well. Thank you so much, all of you, to all of our partner organizations, to all of our speakers, for making the time to come out during this rain. This is a perfect place to do it. And I appreciate all of you that for joining me in the field tomorrow and every day after that to get out the vote. Thank you so much. Yeah, what's up, Jeff? Yes, and again, early voting starts on Tuesday for the next 2 weeks, February 17th through February 27th. If you need help organizing, getting out the vote, we will come to you and put an event together. Let's partner up together. Let's talk. Let's get this vote out, and let's win this campaign, y'all. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, Sean. Oh, it'll, Rosa, can you just call Rosa? There's no way to stop it from here? No, get us call Rosa and tell her to come to the city.